how to conquer and eliminate anxiety attacks or panic attacks in your life. Hi there, I'm Joe Simonds, Like Diamonds, and this is the Joe Simonds Like Diamonds show. This is something I do every day, Monday through Thursday, in 7 minutes or less. And what I want you to get out of is just one big idea, something that you can take away from this little 7-minute segment, if you will, and apply it in your own life. Most of the ideas come out of this book. Today's episode in particular is chapter 9 of Fishing for Happiness. If you aren't familiar with the book, awesome book. It had a huge impact on my life. It's basically everything I wish was around back when I was going through some really tough times in my own life. And it's really my journey of a 5-year period of reading a personal development book every single week and how I overcame a lot of things like anxiety attacks. And in fact, I had pretty debilitating anxiety attacks and some other things as well that really we all go through in life. Just the asking ourselves why, like, why me, God, and is this it? Like, is there more to life than this? But let's get to today's subject. It's a really important one. It's a powerful one. It's one that affects and impacts a lot of people. I mean, millions and millions of people suffer from anxiety attacks. And I was reminded today, actually, a really good friend of mine sent me a text. He's mostly through my book now, and he read chapter 9 over this past weekend, and he's like, man, he goes, I've been suffering from the same thing you described and didn't know what it was. And for me in particular, I really started having these anxiety attacks back in my 20s, before I could just go to Google or WebMD and do things like that. In fact, when I had them, I had roommates at the time, and we had one old computer that was dial-up modem, and the last thing I wanted my roommates seeing me type in was like, I feel like I'm dying, because that's what you feel like. If you've never experienced an anxiety attack, it's tough for me to explain it, but it's that fight or flight, and you've had it before. Like, imagine if all of a sudden you woke up and your house was just on fire, or there's a bear right on top of you about to slash you. I mean, that's how you feel. Your heart is literally beating out of your chest. In many cases, you're sweating profusely, you're freaking out, and all you can think about is running away and getting away from it. Your entire mindset, when you suffer from anxiety or any major fear, your entire mind is just trying to run away from it. It's that fight or flight. And this went on in my life for many years. It's something I never really shared with anyone. In fact, I had trouble sharing it with my wife, because it's quite honestly, it's embarrassing. You know in the back of your mind that you shouldn't be afraid of something that doesn't exist, right? Because that's really what an anxiety attack is. You're afraid, you're fearing something that's not really there in most all cases, and yet you still can't get out of your head. And when that happens, as I mentioned earlier, that's all you can think about is how do you get away from it. And for me, the answer was something that I never expected. Now, after reading a lot, I purchased quite a few books on anxiety and on panic attacks and how to manage them, and then all of them said things about breathing, and I tried that. I tried meditation, and it helped a little bit, and until I figured out this tip I'm going to share with you in conjunction with one other thing, that was what solved it for me, and none of those other things did it for me. And sometimes you're just not ready for it. Sometimes your mind and your body's just not ready to accept that. I was just flat out over it. It was controlling a big part of my life. I mean, to tell you how bad it was, there were times that I literally couldn't go into a grocery store because I was going to have a panic attack just being around people and being in line somewhere. I mean, it sounds crazy, but that was my life for many years. I missed one of my best friend's weddings, one of my roommates' weddings. I missed the wedding because I was so sick from just having these panic attacks. I was literally having a panic attack the whole day, sweating profusely, like feeling like I'm gonna die. And yet, as soon as I knew I'd kind of missed it and it was over, everything just went away. I mean, it was 100% just crazy, made up anxiety. It was nuts. So let me get to it, because you're getting halfway through the show and you're wondering, all right, Joe, what did you figure out? And please purchase the whole book. You'll see the whole story of all the things I tried that didn't work, and just kind of all my struggles with it. And this went over about a 14-year period of time. So it wasn't just like I had a couple anxiety attacks. This went on for a long time. But the cool part about it is my brother Luke went to a freediving course. It was a course I had actually signed up for and couldn't make it because my wife had some illnesses, and I just couldn't leave the house at the time. When Luke came back, I asked him what he learned. Long story short is he's like, they got me down to 67 feet, I believe it was, in one weekend. So they got my brother from basically being able to hold his breath for like a little over a minute to 3+ minutes. And I'm curious, probably like you are, like, well, how the heck did you do it? He's like, well, it's all about basically just confusing our body and our heart and our breathing, that we're just this as calm as possibly can be, basically the opposite of the flight, where you're basically just almost asleep. And I was like, all right, well, like, what happened? He's like, well, all we did is we'd breathe in for 8 seconds, and critical here, you breathe in with your stomach, not your chest. You know, most of us, when we do get anxious and panicky and fearful, we're breathing with our whole body. And when you do it the right way, you're breathing just with your stomach. So your stomach is going in and out, not your chest. You should see no real movement in your chest at all. It should be 100% with your stomach, should be going in and out. And he's like, we would breathe in for 8 seconds, nice 8 count, and then breathe out for 8 seconds. Usually using your nose and a combination of your mouth. So a lot of times you'd be breathing in with your nose for 8 seconds. Big inhale, and then hold it for a second, and then exhale for 8 seconds. And why I do that now, I actually kind of just almost say to myself, relax. Every second I'm like, relax, 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 relax. I know it sounds goofy, but you're basically just putting your body in the calmest possible position ever. It's the complete opposite of fearful and anxiety and panic. And as Luke told me that, I was like, all right, well, if that's how you basically fool your body into being able to go calmly down to 67 feet when normally your body would be freaking out and panicking and wanting to flee the area as soon as you got down to about 30 feet, which is what my brother's body normally did. I was like, well, it probably works above water as well. And it did. It worked magically. And every time I got in a position like at a supermarket where I started feeling anxiety come on, I just started doing those breathing exercises. And of course, I didn't close my eyes. I would just do them right then and there in public, and no one knew. We think people are looking at us, and they're not. They don't care. They care about themselves. They have their own issues going on. But I started doing that, and it was magical what happened. So the other thing, I was seeing I'm getting short on time, the other thing that was a game changer was believing that I could do it. You see, in all the other examples, when I started the breathing exercises, I still just didn't believe 100% that I could beat it. And as soon as I actually started believing that I could do it, along with those breathing exercises, that was when all the magic really happened. So I encourage you to, one, just try this out and don't run from it. The second you start run from it, it's going to come back again. It is. You have to sit there and beat it. And just ask yourself, like, what's the worst that could possibly happen? And the worst is that you probably sweat profusely or just kind of feel like you're not really there. But if that's the worst case, that's not that bad. And when you do get over it, once you beat it just once or twice, like the confidence is there, and like you control it. You own that thing. So please do try it. Try the breathing exercise. I wish I had time to go into more. Please do buy the book, Fishing for Happiness. I talk about how to get over anxiety attacks and a lot of other fears that really just take a lot out of life away from us, that really just hold us back from excellence and awesomeness. So please check out the book, Fishing for Happiness. It's on Amazon. And practice the breathing. Practice that 8 count, 8 in using your stomach, breathe through the stomach and then out through the stomach, and then just knowing that you can do it. You have to believe that you can overcome these. And if you are suffering from it, shoot me an email, joe.simons@yahoo.com. Shoot me an email or leave me a comment and ask me any other questions you have on this or any other questions you want to see on future episodes. Please do let me know. I apologize. This is the first time we've gone way over 7 minutes, but I feel like this is a really important one, and I wanted to get this out because I know millions of people are suffering from the same thing. So that's it for this episode. Stay tuned tomorrow for another awesome Joe Simonds Like Diamonds episode. Boop.